The truth is that most people won't go viral. It's like a lottery ticket. In fact, think of it like a casino. If that helps you realize the futility of the average business owner's chances of crushing it on social media. Once upon a time, we threw virgins into volcanoes to please the gods. To please unseen identities, we would burn the first of our harvest. We used to slay livestock in ritual, hoping that it would be enough. Now we look back at our ancestors and that stuff looks foolish. I mean, what a waste of time. What a waste of resources. What a horrific waste of life. But today, in 2025, even if you're not religious, we still do all kinds of weird and crazy shit to please the invisible beings. Now, this video is about marketing. It's about content. It's about what we do to try and get clients. All right, now my interactions with clients in the last 6 months have reminded me of this incredible pigeon experiment. And perhaps you're familiar with operant conditioning. It's a theory of learning where behavior is influenced by its consequences. So you take an action, it gets results, and that's the reinforcement of behavior. Now, side note, we're already doing this. Our dopamine systems have been hijacked. We're glued to our phones, but that's perhaps another video for another time. Anyway, so this guy called Skinner put a bunch of pigeons in boxes and he started running some experiments. He was able to prove his theory by giving the pigeons a treat when they performed a specific task. You know, push a button and you get a little snack. Simple enough. But he took this experiment to a whole new level and he decided to mess with the pigeons even more. And this led to fascinating observations and discoveries that apply directly to human psychologies. And that's what it's got to do with marketing. So in this experiment, the pigeons were in their boxes just like before, but this time the boxes were programmed to give the pigeon a little snack at random intervals, regardless of what the pigeons were doing. So they're trying to press the thing to get a snack when it wasn't coming out, but it was coming out at random times. Yeah, that's right. This guy fucked with their little tiny pigeon brains. And guess what happened? Well, they began to associate whatever random activity they were doing when the food was delivered with the delivery of the food itself. And in most cases, the pigeons developed superstitious behaviors or little rituals, like they'd turn their head counterclockwise or they'd go into the corner of the cage and bump against it, or quickly do a quick hop or double bobbing. So the pigeons thought that their behavior was making the food show up, even though the events were completely disconnected. And then it gets even more interesting. So when the pigeon's superstitious behavior failed to trigger the snack, because of course it was never going to trigger the snack because it's random, the pigeons got confused and they seemed to like double down on their efforts. So they'd begin to stack these superstitious behaviors together. So instead of maybe just like a head wobble, they would do a head wobble and a turn and then maybe a hop. And then they keep repeating this behavior over and over and over again and over and over and over again. Now, I don't know what happened at the end, whether or not he de-trained these poor tiny pigeons and set them free from their superstitious behaviors. But maybe you've clued on to what I'm talking about. See, we're all head bobbing at the moment on social media. We see patterns where there are no patterns. We hear something that maybe is going to help us get more likes or engagement, and then we try and do those things to try and get more reach. We try and reverse engineer our content so that we can maximize engagement without really even knowing if what we're doing is even working, or if it's luck, or something else. When we're creating content like this, trying to get the algorithm to favor us, the algorithm gods, what is it that our followers get? Well, our followers end up getting superficial content that's designed to please the algorithm. So instead of our content influencing people and helping them have epiphanies, we just end up being bland, two-dimensional caricatures of what we really are. Now, a client recently shared with me that they realized that a depression had set in for them, and they'd identified that it was their reduced reach with social media as the primary reason why they were feeling this way. They said that they felt like their lead pipeline was slipping through their fingers, meaning people no longer seeing their content, meaning their business is suffering. So all the head bobbing that was working yesterday to get attention isn't working anymore. And no matter what they do, they're unable to get the confidence or predictability with their marketing back. This is a horrible feeling, and it's happening to a lot of people. It's why people are so relieved when they can untether themselves from the relentlessness of having to feed the social algorithm. Now, if you want to become an influencer, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people who want to run a business and they just want to get attention for their business so they can sell some stuff. And look, I'm not here to promote one particular channel over another particular channel. It's your audience. You build it the way you want, the way that you feel is best for you. But I will say though, if you're stacking one behavior with another behavior and you're trying to reverse engineer everything to get attention from the algorithm, and then you're also stacking another behavior when you post and you click and engage, if you're doing all this stuff, if it's making you miserable, contorting your energy and your time to serve an algorithm instead of serving your clients and changing lives, at some point you've got to stop and take a look at yourself and see where you're headed and say enough is enough and start something new. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be using social media, because with social media, you have a chance to go viral, and that's totally fine. Use it. Use it as a creative outlet to express different thoughts, to test different ideas, because yeah, that's the good thing about social media. You do have a chance to go viral, that's true. But if you're not aiming to be an influencer, you just want to use it for business, the truth is that most people won't go viral. It's like a lottery ticket. In fact, think of it like a casino. If that helps you realize the futility of the average business owner's chances of crushing it on social media and bringing in 1 million leads. So except for a few outliers, social media is a short game, and it's got an expensive toll that you must pay. And that price is it prevents you from playing the long game. The point of this video is to help you realize that if you're in business and you want clients and you've been spending the majority of your time on social media and it's not getting anywhere, in fact, you're getting more frustrated because you're losing reach, you need to do something different. You need to play the long game. Because if you're engineering your content to serve an algorithm, instead of sharing the things that you know, the things you've learned, connecting with your audience on their level, with their hurts, their pains, their frustrations, their desires, their joys. If you're not able to do that stuff because it doesn't get likes, you want a method to be able to connect with them. And I can hear people saying, well, that sounds like a lot of work, Pat. You mean I've got to write a newsletter, or I've got to start a YouTube channel, or I've got to get into email marketing? Well, you don't have to do all those things, but you got to do something. You need to communicate with your people, because as ridiculous as it seems to throw virgins into volcanoes, that's how ridiculous I think it looks to just put all of your eggs in the social media basket and not develop your own platform for leadership in the marketplace. If you're an expert and you're not sharing the insight from what you've learned over all these years, how's anyone to know that they should work with you? How's anyone to know that you might be a good choice for them? How's anyone to know that your personalities might align? Now, perhaps you've decided that you don't want to write a newsletter, but you'll try your hand at starting a YouTube channel. Cool. If that's the case, you're going to love this next video. It's where I share what I've learned in my YouTube journey so far. I'll see you in the next video.